Good afternoon, Cochise County. Lisa Gustafson coming to you with Cool FM Live today. We are here in our studios with Angela. Hi, Angela.
Hi.
We're going to talk to Angela here in just a few minutes, but some of you have been tagging us and posting some comments in regards to 2 attempted abductions that happened this morning at Walmart here in Sierra Vista. Angela was one of those unfortunate victims of the assault, and we're going to hear from you and everything that happened, and we're incredibly thankful that you're safe and that both of you are safe.
Me too.
And nothing, you weren't taken in any way, shape, or form. So walk me through this morning. You're at Walmart. You're doing your shopping for your crafts. What happened?
Yeah, so I'm at Walmart. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get some arts and crafts stuff for the event tomorrow, the small business event at the mall. And I'm walking and I'm over where the electronics are, right in front of it, that aisle that's right in front of it, and you're turning onto that long aisle, right, that goes out to the front. So I'm turning right there, and there's a guy that's super close to me, right? So he's like, probably, can I get in your space? Okay.
You can. I will allow you.
So he's like this close to me, and I'm like, okay, in my head, I'm like, personal bubble, right?
Sure.
But I'm like, okay. I turn around because he says, what did he say to me? He goes, oh, hey, how are you? And I was like, do I know this guy? So
right,
like,
didn't think anything
be
of
polite,
it.
you know,
Sure.
and I have like a lot of trauma, so you have trauma brain, you block out memories, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm like, okay, maybe I know him from another life. So I'm like, okay, hi, yeah, I'm good. Just turn around, and I start walking again, and I feel him closer to me like this. And at this point was when I feel something on my back right here, and I feel his hand on my arm, and he says, okay, let's go. At this point was when I froze, because you get those feelings, right? And you're like, what do I do? It's that freeze response. You don't know what to do. Now, I have over 15 years of trauma, so a woman that's been through those kind of experiences from their past, in their mind, I'm terrified. You are terrified because you're in that freeze response. The thing is that because of my business, not to promote it too much, but because of my business, I have learned how to be in touch with my emotions and understand this is an unsafe environment. You aren't safe right now. And I tried to like move off of him a little,
so
and when I turn
arm.
around, so he has my arm, but he has like the far arm, and he like as I turn around, I see his face, and he is not playing. That fear, that face, us ladies, we know that face.
You know
that is like something's gonna go down. Sure. And I see the object in his hand. Now I didn't see exactly what it was, but I saw that it was very dark, very slender, and pointy. And so in my mind, I'm like, could he stab you with this? Yes. But what can you do in this situation? Now you want to do like the fight or flight, right? You want to do, okay, should I fight this person? You have so many thoughts in your mind. You could stand there. You could try and fight them. What is the best reaction to do in that situation?
And we've been talking about this because we're in Sierra Vista. We love our small town, right?
Right.
Things like that don't happen here.
Especially at 8:40 in the morning.
In the middle of Walmart.
Right.
And I said, if it was me, I would probably have been frozen and maybe walked out with him. I don't know. Or screamed like a crazy woman. But I think for it to happen to you, the fact that you train people for this and you're aware of it, I think that is what helped and got you through this, because as you're running through Walmart, correct me if I'm wrong, nobody really stopped to help. So you took off running.
Right. So here's the thing. When you've been in abusive relationships, and I am not like, for the record, so everyone is clear, I am not like specially trained in like self-defense or anything like that. Okay. So don't call me and be like, how do you fight them? I ran. Okay. I ran. But you've got to know your limitations, right? So if you're specially trained, have at it, you know, call me up, you know, if you want to do a collaboration with me. No, but seriously, when you're not trained in that, know your limitations, okay? Because you've been in those situations, or maybe you haven't, where you felt helpless because you were degraded in your past. You were treated like you were too much, not enough, that you were too loud, too quiet, and you were beat for it, or you were degraded for it, or you were told that your feelings weren't important. And so what we do is we hide our feelings and hide our emotions, right?
But not
you. Right. So me,
You ran.
I'm like, my feelings are valid. I don't care if anybody hears me screaming. I push him, and I'm like, I just need to run and hope that this guy is whacked out on some kind of drug and isn't able to run with me. So when I turn around while I'm running, I'm yelling, get away from me, get away from me. And I see that people are kind of looking over at us. Nobody did anything. And I'm like, okay, but still, I need to make sure that I'm okay because I matter to me. And so I kept running, and at the very end, I saw a lady sitting there, and she was that worked at Walmart, and I ran up to her, and he didn't run behind me, but he was walking very briskly. He still had his hand like this the whole time, like he was ready, but he kept looking back and forth as if he was looking to see, is anybody noticing that I'm following her? Is anybody even giving at all about if I'm in safety or danger, right? And so when I get up to the lady, I'm like, this guy just attacked me. Is anybody gonna do anything about this? And he walks past, and he's just kind of like glancing, when you're an attacker, when you're an abuser, what do? They walk, ladies.
He's probably trying to be calm.
They walk, but they give you that side eye, that fear look. It only takes one little glance, right? But it terrifies you because they know that they have that power. The difference is that they no longer have that power because I called the cops. The cops asked, do you want to press charges? Yeah, definitely, because it's important. My feelings matter no matter how small the instance.
It's a horrible situation. And,
right.
And security ended up calling the police. But,
no, I called them.
Oh, you called them.
I called them. They asked me if I had called. I was in shock.
Right, you're probably
didn't do
not
anything.
thinking.
They walked away. They came back and said, did you call them yet? And I was like, wait. So you're not calling them? They're like, no, like the procedure, you have to call them. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I'm on the phone with my boyfriend telling him, like, can you please get down here? I need support, which is another thing I never would have done before, because I would have been like, I don't want to bother you. You have your kids right now. You're trying to do this and that.
You need support with this.
But
happens.
no, my feelings matter. So when
Absolutely.
I need you, I'm going to call. I'm going to call.
So you call the police.
Yes.
He goes outside, and
Correct.
our understanding is that is when he tried to abduct someone else.
Correct.
There was another.
It was about maybe 5 minutes had passed.
So still not concerned with leaving. He's not concerned that you're running through the store, that he has already been made. He goes out and attempts this on somebody else.
Correct.
I will say this. He is in custody. Well, the police did pick him up.
Yes.
They did find him.
He had a van outside, and they were working on getting a search warrant because they didn't find a weapon on him, and so they were trying to get the search warrant to be able to look. But the biggest thing is that if I didn't call the cops, nothing would have happened. If I didn't call the cops, they may not have been there when the other lady got attacked.
Because they got there very quick, and there was several of them. I saw a lot of people had mentioned what's going on at Walmart.
But the point about it is that
you had to call.
Right. But the biggest point here is that I did have to call. So it is possible to advocate for yourself, but it's also necessary, because here's the thing. If I didn't call, the cops may not have been there to catch him when he was trying to abduct another lady with a child with her, was my understanding.
Terrifying, right? That's what we heard. And just so everybody knows, we have several calls in to get the full incident that we will be posting about. But if you do find yourself in this situation, and so many times, we've talked a lot about if you freeze or you run, there's so many, you have options. And the most important option when you are in this situation is to take care of you, to have your voice heard, and to run, flee. I mean, do you believe that it's horrible to think what would have happened had you not ran and fled,
But it's not just about the running and fleeing, because the terror afterwards.
And
it's like
people
when you're
need to recognize that.
Well, and it's like you're in an abusive relationship, right? You're getting hit, you're getting abused, or you're getting verbally abused, and you don't stick up for yourself. You run, but then what? They get you back in. They reel you back in. The point that I'm trying to make is that things like calling the cops and them saying, oh, you're going to press charges? Absolutely. Because the thought in my mind of him doing it to another woman that had a child in my mind was like, I am so glad that I love myself enough now that I can actually stick up for it. Because when you're in abusive situations, you drop charges. We drop charges because we don't want to be a bother. We don't have time for it. You should always have time for you.
Yes,
always.
I agree. And again, I've said it before. No, I'm guilty. Know your surroundings, but when you are in this situation, it is so important to know that you have options. It is terrifying to think what could have happened. It is terrifying to think, had you not made the call and the cops showed up, what would have happened to the other lady. And unfortunately, we don't have any contact with her yet. But we want everyone to know, if you are ever in any type of trauma situation, 24/7, you can reach out to Lori's Place, and they will help in any of these situations. So if you ever find yourself in need of help or assistance, please reach out to them. And Angela, I cannot say, I asked her, I said, do you want to come down and talk to us today? Are you okay? And you've gone through the motions since this happened, but you want other women to know, no, this is not okay.
Right.
Not okay.
And I even told her, come and pick me up in the van, Right. Pick me up in the van. Do you have candy? Right. Because when you can feel fully healed, you can actually make jokes about it, because you know that you're safe, because you protect yourself. And that's the biggest thing. When you can protect yourself.
Sure.
And know that you matter enough that it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to sit there and say, you are not allowed to touch me.
Well, I believe that, and this was in no way intended to, it was just a crazy coincidence that she is the CEO, owner, and founder of Unabashedly You, that you help women and empower them.
Right.
I think that's why this worked so well to your advantage today, that you got out of that terrible situation. If you have, please follow us. Like I said, we are going to post once we get the full incident report, and be aware of your surroundings all the time. Know that you have options, and thank God, very thankful that you made it out and you were safe, and you saved somebody clearly from another possibly horrible, horrible, traumatic experience.
Yes,
So
definitely.
We thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you for having me.
And guys, keep following us. Again, a lot of you have commented, so please feel free to share. Many people reached out to us this morning because they did see the police cars. They did hear some stuff, but we wanted to get the full story, and we got it for you here with Miss Angela. So thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
We will definitely be talking to you some more, and this is Lisa with Cool FM Live. You guys keep following us. We'll keep you updated on this story.